and it's one of the tastiest ones ever. Sole, straight from the Hamburg fish market. And how we prepare it, you'll see in this video. Welcome to Color Cooks. Action! Oh, that looks delicious. Sole, really nice specimen, weighing 1.5 kilos. The white side is on the bottom and the dark side is on top. It's pretty clear that when it buries itself in the ocean floor, a little in the sand, it's nicely camouflaged. And when it swims up, you can see the white belly against the sky from below. And that's how it's a bit camouflaged. And with the sole, one thing is really important. Unfortunately, I can't really demonstrate that to you in a hands-on way right now, because when you run your hand over it, it's totally smooth. Really nice and smooth. And you might think about frying the fish with the skin on. But that doesn't work, because if you go against it, I'm going to be really quiet. I think it's becoming clear now. Thousands, tens of thousands of tiny scales are on this skin. That means the skin has to come off. And how we do that, I'll show you now. It's really simple. We're going to cut a little bit of the skin on the flat side with a filleting knife. Just enough to have something to grab onto, so we can get underneath it a bit. When I have it like this, we notice that this skin, especially because the fish is so fresh, is quite hard to get a hold of. That's why we're putting a bit of coarse salt back here, where we made the cut. And that's not for seasoning, it's to give us a bit more grip. Now we're going to go underneath and practically use our thumb to separate the skin from the fish. And once we have the beginning like this, we grab the skin, hold the tail end firmly, and then we take the fish and simply pull the skin off towards the front, and then hold the tail end firmly with a paper towel and now pull it strongly forward. That's the best way to do it. The skin isn't even good enough for a fish stock. We don't need that at all. That goes straight in the trash. And on the other side, we're going to do it exactly the same way. And the second side is done too. What's still missing here is that the fin trim has to be removed and the head has to come off. We'll take care of that now. So now we want to cut off the fin trim. And for that we have this wonderful, very sturdy fish scissors here. And with that you can easily cut off the fin trim here. It fits perfectly into the next fish stock. We don't need to throw away the tail either. When it comes to the head, I also make a little V-shaped cut with my scissors that we don't lose too much fish fillet at this point. And now the sole looks like it could go into the pan. However, we still have the innards here. We can get to the innards best by carefully going in with the knife along the fin trim. And then we can pull it up like this and practically operate the innards out. Look, it practically does it all by itself. And the rest is just rinsed off. So after washing, it already looks really appetizing. If we want to fry the sole as a sole meunière, have a problem. Look how thick it is here at this point. And here at the tail end, it's just so thin. If the fish just lay in the pan simply for all of this time, it would be absolutely and completely dry here. And up here, it might just be cooked through. And you can use two little tricks. The first trick is that up here, there's a bit of a center seam, and we open the fillet up to halfway to reach down towards where you find its bone. And with this cut, the thick part of the sole cooks much faster, and then we don't have to worry about it getting too dry here. So we do the same thing on the other side, of course, cut halfway in, and the heat can reach it better there. That's really enough for two people. What a big sole. And now the question is, what are we going to fry it in? We have our high-sided pans, but you really have to fry it up right here. But no, Hoffman, Germany is thinking ahead. It has a fish pan. Please take a look at this. And there's also a matching lid for it, which we obviously don't need today. But what a beautiful pan. So for those who already have everything, they can still be happy about it at Christmas. And here in this perfect tool, we want to use the sole now. Now we can season the sole. I really like it with freshly ground black pepper, a bit of mustard, and of course salt. When it comes to souring, opinions differ a bit. Some say that if I have such fresh fish, it doesn't necessarily have to be done. That's true on one hand. But on the other hand, lemon adds a bit of lightness, even to the freshest fish. I love it for the taste, but everyone can decide for themselves. And a tip from old times, which is rarely done in the fish kitchens of this world today. I still dust the fish with flour because what's better than a crispy fried sole without skin? And you achieve that perfectly by adding a bit of flour. So just dip it in quickly. Also the front part, just pat it. Bit dry again, the bottom side. Exactly like that. And when the fish is ready, straight into the pan. Take a look. This pan is perfect for that. The pan itself is, of course, non-stick. Still, frying, always move the fish a little bit. Then you can be 100% sure that it definitely won't stick. Always keep it moving a bit, kind of like carrying a bandana. So you can see from the fin trim that color has already developed on the underside. And this is the moment when we turn the sole over now. That's just perfect. And now here's another little trick. We're going to wait here for about 2 more minutes so that the tail side gets a bit of color. Then we just place this piece of lemon underneath so that the tail comes out of the hot fat. Then it will cook just as quickly and evenly as up here. So put the lemon slice underneath, and now we can do the following. We're using our silicone utensils here so that the pan doesn't get damaged. Every now and then pour some hot fat over our sole. That's how we get the perfect result when frying. So I've drained most of the frying fat. Now I'm adding a nice big piece of butter in there, because the sole is done. And now we just want to pour a little butter over it. And this butter will later be served with our sole and some boiled potatoes. Now we want to plate beautiful fish on a pre-warmed plate. As I said, we're going to serve our frying butter, the side. And now, a little bit of a trick from my dad. No, he was always a sole lover. And what he always did was to first carefully set aside this fin edge, which is now cooked. We're going to do the same on the belly side. Over there, we also just pull out this fin edge. Take a look, just like that. What's left here is the pure fillet. It's important that you do this on a warm plate. And then there's this central bone here, and my dad just pierced right through it. Take a look, and what happens when you get between the bones is that you can practically slide both fillets off the bone at once. What we have here is pure fish fillet, and we do the same on this side. We take our fillet, hold the bone tight, and poke through like this. And you see, that's how you can easily take out the bone here. We're pushing that together, and this way we can plate 2 sole fillets in no time. And on top of that, we'll add a little bit of our frying butter. And filleting at the table, that's great, right? Whoever likes it. So thumbs up for us. Bye, dear ones.